He's the founder and CEO of Boston Negotiation Group. He has earned his MBA at PIM and postgraduate diploma in marketing by CIM UK and diploma in business administration by the University of Colombo. He was the former general manager sales and marketing at Maersk Line Sri Lanka. With over 25 years of experience and hands-on expertise in over 30 countries, including Europe, Asia Pacific, and Middle East, he has successfully secured many international deals during his career. He is also a visiting lecturer at PIM, and we have done several trainings with him as a trainer, and it has been outstanding feedback that we have received after the sessions. So it's great to have Mr. Tissa with us today. And for just as an announcement, if you also can just switch off your videos for us to have better interaction and also to avoid any distraction for participants, that would be great from your end. And also, you can also rename yourself in case you are logging in through a mobile device so that it will be easy for us to identify the participants who have logged in. So we wish you all the very best that this will be a fruitful session with Mr. Tissa. Over to Mr. Tissa. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pubudu, for that lovely, dynamic, and colorful introduction. Now, before I begin, I wish to ask you a question. Are you having a hard time because of COVID-19 lockdown? Hit your job, business, or income? Do you have a fear or anxiety of your future? Are you worried what will happen to you next week, next month, or next year? Do you have pressure? Are you still, have you attended your job or workplace still? Or are you still at home? Lockdown, or your workplace is not yet open. Now, for instance, if you are in hospitality industry or education industry, there's a great chance that you are still at home. Are you concerned? I have a good news for you. If you are worried, I have a very good news for you. Good news is, don't worry. The rest of the world, all people in this universe right now feels the same. They too are worried, and you are not alone. At least, my friends, I am with you. I have a concern. I am worried too. Because the world has changed, the new norm. The COVID-19 is an equalizer. Why do I say so? Because it's an equalizer. It treats the same way the billionaire, the baker, and the pauper or beggar. All three were treated alike. The USA, China, India, Europe, Sri Lanka, or even tiny Maldives were treated same way by COVID. So it's an equalizer. It's very natural that we all have the concerns. Do you have a feeling that you will have limited income, less income in future? Are you worried that you might have to fight for every single rupee in future to save it or spend it? And are you also concerned? The people will negotiate harder. They will fight for every single rupee when you go for buying certain things. Do you already feel, have you already felt that you are paying more to the same item that you paid than you couple of months ago. The prices have gone up. Has anyone ever tried to negotiate or bargain with you to pay a less to your product or services? Well, my friends, welcome to the reality. It's happening everywhere. The lessor and the lessee, the one who has given a rent to the apartment has a difficulty of collecting the money from rentee. Now rentee is negotiating because governments are almost unofficially requested to only charge half. And if you are in a tuition class, or if you are running a school, if you are running a hotel, you might have to slash prices. Are you worried? Well, you better be. One thing is certain. The negotiation skills that you had 3 months before to take you in the position where you are right now will not help you to take you in the future, because things has changed. You have to change. Otherwise, you will be an average negotiator. One thing that I can say with pretty much accuracy, all of you who are watching right now are born natural negotiators. You are a born negotiator. Don't you believe it? Do you have any doubt? Am I a good negotiator? Well, let me suggest you, ask your parents or elders, and they will remind you how great you were negotiator you were, because you negotiated to get everything what you want, not having a single rupee in your possession. You never had the purse or pocket, but you got everything what you want. From toy to tricycle, remember good old days? How did you do that? Because you are a born natural negotiator. It's that negotiator is in you. That negotiator for next 30, 40 minutes. One thing that I can do is I can't create a new negotiator, but I can definitely help you to rediscover that great negotiator in you. Are you interested? Do you want to be a great negotiator? Now, negotiating skills is like a muscle. You got to do exercises regularly to improve it. Now, the young boys or gentlemen knows if they want to have a six-pack, nice, smart body, even a ladies knows that you have to do exercises. It doesn't help you even if you do keep on doing exercises for your arm. You will have good arms, but skinny leg, bad legs. And it doesn't help you to keep on exercising for legs, and if you don't balance it with hands and stomach to have a six-pack. Negotiation is like simply like that. You need to keep on adding and exercising, improving. Otherwise, you will be an average negotiator. You know why? What happened to that great negotiator when you were small? Your parents, your school, education, elders, society. Do this, don't do that. This is bad, this is good. All those culture conditioning and social influence diminished, reduced that great negotiator to an average negotiator. You are born special. You are a very unique, special person. My question is, do you want to remain average for rest of your life, or do you want to be a very special, unique person for rest? If you want to be a very special person, you got to learn how to negotiate. Now, in my case, I can suggest you, I have been a very average negotiator. I have failed. I have been a salesperson through almost like 25, almost close to 30 years in my life. I was not successful initially. I was chased out. Doors were shut. I was denied, refused. I learned hard way. I learned art of negotiation over 25 years. I failed. But I understood why I failed and learned the lesson and improved. Again failed, learned the lesson, did not repeat the same mistake and improved. Kept on doing that. It took over 25 years. But you don't have to. I will share with you within next 35 minutes the bite-size techniques, tips for you to apply immediately. Now, there is no point of you continuing for next 30-40 minutes if I don't give you something to immediately apply. Right now, this afternoon you can apply, this morning you can apply. I will give certain tips, tricks and techniques. So you could immediately apply and feel, wow, this is nice. I learned it, I applied it, it gives the result. Immediate rewarding, success. That's what keeps us motivating going. So I will share with you a couple of new things, new techniques that you could immediately apply in your personal and professional life. Because as an individual, you negotiate in both areas, your personal and professional life. Now, where do you think you negotiate more? Are you negotiating more on personal life or professional life? In your chat box, Pubudu, is chat box is open?
Yes, sir, chat is open.
Okay, can you type, where do you negotiate more in your life? Do you negotiate more in personal life or do you negotiate more in professional life? Type whether personal or professional. I just want to see your response. Pick your phone and just type. For personal, just say PER. For professional, just print PRO. I just wanted to see. Wow, responses are coming. Wow, it's a mix. Great. It's coming. Yeah, it's great. It's like a mix of, there are a couple of people who think something that you are negotiating more on professional, and there are some people who think negotiating in professional. Let me tell you the best practices in general. In general, this is not, it's depend on the life cycle you are in, which stage of life you are in, whether you're a youngster, you are a corporate executive, CEO, and you are a student. Generally, we negotiate more in personal life. From the moment you got out of the bed until the moment you get into the bed in the evening, you negotiate. From the day you are born until the day you are gone, you negotiate. We negotiate more in personal life. We negotiate with your brother, sister, parents, your friends, your partner, your wife, spouse, children. We negotiate more. In my life, I negotiate more in personal life. Maybe for some people, those who are working in a very high senior level, you are 8 to 10 hours in office, you have more professional life. That I respect. There's no Bible truth, I mean, clear-cut answer. But in general, we negotiate personal life. Where do you think which negotiation is much more difficult? Is it personal difficult or professional difficult? What do you think? Just take 3 seconds to think. Personal. It's difficult. It doesn't mean professional negotiations are easier, but if you are married, try to negotiate with your wife or husband. If you have children, where do you think that is it easy to negotiate with your kid than your boss? The moms, dads know negotiating with kids are much more difficult than negotiating with your CEO. But when the terms negotiation comes, we think about big things. The negotiation between Sri Lankan government and with the Singapore government for what you call Sri Lanka-Singapore trade agreement, negotiation between Russia and China, China and America, Trump and Xi Jinping. I mean, all these big things comes into our mind. Remember, Negotiation is daily activity for a leadership. Are you a leader? If you are a leader, negotiation skills is one of the top 10 leadership skills for next decade, not for this decade, next decade. So let's learn how to do that. Now, mastering negotiation skills that you had last year will not help to negotiate next year, but things are getting harder, difficult. Majority of us, at least I have, it's being felt by me. I feel it. Everything has gone up, so I have to fight for save every single rupee, and I have to fight to sell my services. I'm in training and development. I conduct workshops. I deliver keynotes. It requires me to fight more to sell for the same price that I easily did a couple of months ago. Are you feeling the same? Well, it should be, because things have changed. Now, how do I help you to rediscover the negotiator in you, the great one? That's only one way. Upgrade yourself. There's only one way I suggest. There could be many ways. My suggestion is master the basic. Master the basic. Why do I say so? If you want to prepare a cake, what do? You have to bake the cake first. Then put the icing. Now, if you don't bake the cake properly, no amount of icing will make it a good cake. Have you realized that? No amount of icing will make a good cake if you don't bake cake properly. Know your fundamentals better. Do you remember Dilshan's Dilscope? The icing part, the bowler sphere. How did he do that? Imagine if he did it while in school team, he would have been thrown out, kicked out from the school team itself. So he mastered the basic. Remember the V shape, straight bat? He did that. Once he mastered all basic, then he can improvise. He can have his own signature way of doing. That's what we call it a Dilscope. To come to that, you need to master. Are you ready to master the basic? I will hold your hand for next 30 minutes and help you to master your basic, so you could immediately apply the learning techniques of negotiation that will be suitable to negotiate during difficult times, hard times. I call it a hard time. I love this. Difficult and hard is very similar connotation. I have one suggestion. To negotiate it during hard time is to put your heart into it. Have I confused you? To negotiate during hard time, you have to put your heart into it. Now, hard time is H-A-A-R-D. Putting your heart is H-E-A-R-T. Do you know how to put your heart into negotiation? Do you have a heart? Of course, yes. Now, have I teached you? What is this heart method? I will take you through. At the end, you will know what did I mean by heart. Negotiating with the heart. Until that, I will take you through the process. Culmination, the pinnacle, the top of it is the heart method of negotiation. Are you ready to come with me in that journey? Now, to teach you, impart the 25 years of my knowledge, easy way to develop a model. Give you a model that you could easily understand, digest on it. I will share with you, this model includes some of the best practices given by even the Harvard Leadership and Negotiation Program is the best, they say it, in the world. So what I learned from their program, I will share with you few things, few important things, so you could use the world best practices to improve your negotiation skill. Are you ready? Let's quickly get into a model. Now this model, let me come to the slide share. Right. Share. Ubudhu, will you please confirm you see this slide?
Yes, we could see it.
Okay.
Please proceed.
Now, let me take you through the next. Now, before I get in, I wish to introduce a statement that reflect your life. This is you. Read this in your screen because this is about you. In business as in life, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. This is not my statement. Let me give the due credence. Dr. Chester Karas, one of the negotiating guru. He says, in business as in life, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. Have you got what you deserve? Have you got your promotion, salary, perks, benefit, job, love, security, belongings, care? Have you got all those? Or do you feel that you deserve more? If you deserve more, it doesn't come easy. You got to negotiate for it. This is what Dr. Chester Karas said. Got to negotiate to get those. In business as in life, you don't get what you deserve. You deserve more. What you have today is what you negotiate. Do you want more in life? More money, more freedom, more recognition, more benefits, more care, love, affection? Well, then negotiate. Now, I wish to take you to the next. Now, negotiation. Do you see this? Is it familiar? Is it a familiar picture? A fist fight. I thought negotiation is like this. Do you feel the same? Do you feel the negotiation is like this? You have to fight to get your part. In America, they call it a fixed spike. Let's put it in a cake. Cake size of the cake is same. So if you want a bigger part, you have to fight for that. If you don't fight, you will get a small piece. The other bigger piece will be gone to your negotiating counterparts. So tendency is to fight for a bigger size, bigger slice or share. This is the old method. The new method is work with that person. Negotiation is an act of collaboration, said by one of my teachers, Professor William Ury. He's the co-founder of Harvard Negotiation and Leadership Program. He said negotiation is act of influence and act of collaboration. You don't have to fight. I will teach you without fighting, getting a bigger share. Let's move to the next. Now I develop a model for easy to impart the knowledge to you. The model is called House of Negotiation. Ubudhu, will you please confirm you see the entire model?
Yes, sir, we can see the total model. Yeah.
Okay, just I will look. Right. Right. Go back. Right. Now this has 4 parts. My friends, see that? This is a house. That's why I call it House of Negotiation. This is a model that I created over 6-7 years of research and doing 25 years of negotiation with the professional and institutional buyers. Because previous 10 years, I was involved with traveling over 30+ countries internationally and doing negotiating with the professional and institutional buyers. With that, my education, my experience, and all those are summarized and put into this, developing this model. It has 4 parts. The bottom is called the preparation base. There's an acronym called BASC. I will explain that. There are 2 pillars, skills and tactics. Lean skills, clever tactics. And the top part is called strategy. It's called the heart strategy. Remember I told you about heart? Keep that in your mind. That's the last point, how you use heart strategy to negotiate in difficult or hard time. I will quickly take you through this model, giving you the basics so you are fully equipped, fully packed to negotiate with COVID challenges. Are you ready? Right. Let's go to the, now this is how, now preparation for foundation of negotiation is the preparation. There's something called, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. If you fail to prepare, you must be prepared to fail. And there's no substitute for preparation. Your 70% of the negotiation success is done if you prepare well beforehand properly. Have you gone for a discussion, negotiation, meeting without preparation? Were you embarrassed, taken unaware, taken aback, surprised? Because you were not prepared? I did not know that. Wow, I wish I knew it. Have you ever felt that way? Well, I have. I learned it hard way. What to prepare? This is the 70% of the success is before the negotiation. Preparation. What do you have to prepare? BASC. Remember BASC? It's an acronym. Each letter has B for build. There are many things that comes. This is the same model I use for 20 minutes, deliver 20 minutes keynote speech and 20 days masterclass. It depends on how deep I go. Now, the same thing, B is build. Build your objectives. If you don't have negotiation objectives, don't negotiate. If you don't go for a meeting without knowing what is your meeting objectives are, simple as that. Have you ever gone for a discussion without knowing it? Why did you come? Nikangawa. Nikangawa na nikayan. If you come without any objective, just go without any result. Know your objectives. Objectives will give you direction where to take this discussion, negotiation forward. If you don't know where you want to go, any road will take you there. If you don't know where you want to go, any road will take you there. Get into any road, it will take you there because you don't know where you want to go. Same negotiation. What is your objective? Objective number 1, 2, 3, prioritizing it. Know where you want to go and then prepare the agenda. Build your agenda, objectives and agenda. What are the steps that you wish to take? Very important one. 2 things that I wish to highlight is, first one is the objective, second one is the agenda. My suggestion, if you don't have objective agenda, don't negotiate. Don't get yourself into trouble. The next one, there are many, I have less time to explain everything. One more important thing is B, is get yourself prepared for the BATNA. It's called BATNA. BATNA. Write it down if you have a piece of paper. This is a very important model. It's called BATNA. Right? Best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Best alternative to a negotiated agreement. BATNA. What does it mean? Prepare your BATNA. That means you should know if the negotiation, if you don't agree on this. Now assume you have a car to sell and you are you want to buy a car. Somebody has advertised in the portal online. and that person say 5 million. You feel that it's 4 million and you start negotiating. He says, okay, 4.9. You say, well, 4.1. I don't want to give anything more. Then he came down 4.8. You say 4.2. And that person says, well, last is 4.8. Take it or leave it. Do you want to buy that or don't? How do you decide it? If you don't buy that car for 4.8, what is your next best option? That is where the preparation comes. You should know, if you don't agree, what is your next best option? Without knowing that, don't go for a negotiation. If you go, you're weak, you're vulnerable, you're naked, you're open to attack, and you're highly dissatisfied. And you can end up with very bad deals. No. Your best alternative, not alternative, there will be dozens of alternatives. What is your best alternative? This phrase, BATNA, is coined by Roger Fisher and William Ury in their seminal book, Get Into Yes, written in 1981. I suggest you read that book. It's called Get Into Yes. Type it in Google, Get Into Yes, by Roger Fisher and Professor William Ury from Harvard negotiation program, co-founders. Beautiful book. They coined this, developed this phrase called BATNA. Know your BATNA before you go. That's the first part. Next part is A is aware. Aware of the culture. It's when you negotiate with, if you are negotiating with a person in first cross street, it's not the same way you are negotiating in person in Matara. So know those culture aspects. And S is for study. Study the competition. You know, if you are selling something, if you are selling software, if you are selling products, know what's happening in the competition. And the last is evaluation. Evaluation, I took it forward. Evaluate your BATNA. If without knowing that, don't go. This is first part. So you prepare thoroughly before coming to the table. Next one is skills. Skills are called lean skills. In normal language, lean mean, they call it continuous development. You know that, right? Continuous development. L stand for listening. Now in negotiation, I know there are a lot of salespeople are watching right now. Many of them, almost close to 100 people are watching. We believe, even I believe, more we talk, more powerful we are, more persuasive we are. Now I was a salesperson. If the person doesn't buy, what was my reaction? Talk more, try to explain more. Have you done that? Have you done that in your life? If that person doesn't agree, whether it's your family member or your friend or your customer, what is your next option? And you watch him and he doesn't say yes, you keep talking more. I did the same. It was wrong strategy. Learn to listen. I call it deep listening. Listening is the most underrated, undervalued, undertaught skill in the world. Listen. More you listen, more you understand the other person. Remember, you talk what you already know. You are talking mean you already know the subject. It's only at the moment of listening you learn. You talk what you already know. It's only at the moment of listening you learn, don't it? Don't you? Start thinking. Now for this, there are a lot of things that I suggest you to. Let me come to some of the articles later. E means empathy. Why? How do you understand the other person? Empathy. Daniel Goleman, in his seminal book, Emotional Intelligence, says empathy is your ability to understand the emotional makeup of others. There are different types of empathies: cognitive empathy, emotional empathy, compassionate empathy. Empathy that itself is another one-day session. But what I'm trying to say, cognitive empathy, perspective taking. Do you understand why other person is asking to? Now, if you are a landlord, you have given a room for rent. The person who occupies and asking, Mr. Perra, will you please reduce the rate, charge only 50%? Why 50%? We have agreed on the contract to pay this amount. Why you are asking 50%? In that situation, I'm getting very simplistic formation. Try to understand his side of the story. Can you get into his shoe and understand it? That is empathy. E is for empathy. A is assertiveness. That means non-passive, non-aggressive approach. Can you say no without saying no? Can you say no without saying no? It's an art of communication. Not aggressive, not passive. It's your choice. Somewhere in between. This is assertiveness. N is non-verbal. Do you know? My words counts only 7% of my communication success. 38% comes with the tonality. The tone that I use, voice variation, modulation. 55% is my body language. That means as a negotiator, you got to use your body language to pass the message to the other person. Or you have to watch the body language of the other person to pass the message. I do it purposely. When I go for a sales or negotiation, if I want that person to talk more, if I wanted to send a signal, the other person that I am interested, I don't say, Mr. Perra, I am interested. Please keep on talking more. I don't say it by words. What I do is I lean forward. Interesting. I lean forward. That my body language says, please talk more. Have you ever felt that someone is lying although that person is saying yes? Have you ability to understand when somebody is lying? Because you have the understanding of body language. Because body language is, the visuals were taken from your visual cortex and interpret in the limbic system where your judgment is applied. And that is almost like automated. Without your knowledge, you are analyzing the other person's body language. So you could understand that person. If someone say yes, but still he meant no, you know that. Remember, other person understand your body language. If you say yes, it has to be genuine yes. If you commit something, can you finish this job by 4 o'clock this afternoon? You ask the question from someone close to you. When that person say yes, but still feel it will not happen. That yes is not really yes. Have you ever felt that way? That's your ability to body language. Master is very important in negotiation. Now let's quickly jump into the tactics. Now, remember, do you feel that preparation and tactics, preparation and skills are the things that you need to do it well beforehand, before you go to the negotiation. Now, you have not even seen the person who you wish to negotiate. Skills and preparation, you got to do it, master it, improve it before you go to the negotiation table. Now, when you go to the negotiation table, the tactics and the strategy comes. What are the tactics? The acronym is clever tactics, CLEVER. Let's go direct. C mean control. When you are negotiating with the other person, you got to stay control. How do you stay control? Let me give you one example. There are many things. Ask questions. Close-ended question, open-ended question, sharp angle question, probing question, exploratory questions, deep questions, angle questions, directional questions. There are different ways of questioning. Ask why. Ask why not. Questioning will keep you in control. That means every time you have to make sure you are in control of the negotiation. It goes according to the agenda, and you have the objectives in mind, and you know where you want to get it. So all these are happening in the same time. One techniques that will help you to understand or keep the negotiation process in control is ask questions. Don't worry about asking questions, because questions comes on the basic matters. Big subjects, we don't have questions. Simple subject, we have questions, but we reluctant to ask the questions. Do you know why? If I ask a question on basic matters, you might think, I feel that you might think I'm stupid. So what is my option to not to show that I'm stupid? Keep my mouth shut. Pretend that I understand everything. Remember, one who raised the hand and asked the question remains stupid for 5 minutes. He remains stupid for 5 minutes until the question is clarified. One who doesn't ask the question and pretend that he knows everything remains stupid for rest of the life. You decide whether you want to be here or there. In negotiation, don't leave anything for ambiguity. Clarify, ask questions. Now, L is leverage. That's called leverage. Leverage your partner, leverage your relationship. Let me give you one example. Have you ever taken someone for a lunch or dinner? Have you offered a glass of drink, either soft or hard? Have you ever given a gift? Have you seen some people asking, is there anyone, does someone knows someone in Kolubitiya police station? They are searching for relationship for some negotiation, something has happened. When you go for that, do you ask which school, which club, where he works, which birthplace, hometown? They look for relationship, very powerful leverage in negotiation. That's one way to leverage. Time leverage and reciprocity. One is the reciprocity. Have you ever heard that there's no free lunch? Has anyone given you calendar or diary or gift? Power of reciprocity. And next time, the human nature is you are inclined to reciprocate in the same manner. They help you and you are inclined to help. That's the human nature. Very powerful. When you reduce 100,000 rupees on the car, the other person is obliged to go up 100,000 rupees. Powerful engaging, leveraging tools. Ease engage. That's a leverage. Ease engage. I'll give you one thing that's very important, or two things. Engage with a smile. When you go as a negotiator, smile. Very important factor. Smile is the first and the easiest concession that you can give to the other person. When you smile, it's free. You have abundance. You have many smiles. Give. First, reciprocity. Other person will smile. Very easy. Engage with smile. Engage with trust. Engage, build the trust. One more thing. Engage with anchor. This is what anchor mean. Have you ever felt that whether you should give the price first or let the other person to give the price first? Have you ever been in that dilemma, that mindset? Should I tell the price or let him to tell the price or her to tell the price? Have you ever been in that position? That's called anchoring. Let me give you one example. How to do that? My way, some of the world best practices ways. If you have all the information about what you are talking. If you are selling something, if you are selling a car, you know everything about the car, what is your partner, what is the market condition, the car condition, everything about the car market and this car. Then it's advantageous for you to give the first offer. If you have less knowledge about this particular subject or item or service, let the other person to give the first offer. I have dozens of examples how it practically works. I just gave you one clue. You can immediately apply tomorrow or today itself. If you have better knowledge about what you are talking, it's always advantageous. It's not necessary, compulsory to give the first offer. If you have less knowledge, let the other person give the first offer. That's my way of suggesting. Now, E is engage, that we finished it. Now, CLE is do's. Now, this clever CLEs are called do's. VR are called don'ts. In tactics, there are things that you should do and that you should not do. Now, let's quickly go. Now, I took you through the journey to what to do when you're negotiating. Control, leverage, and engage. Control, stay in control by asking questions. Leverage by partner, relationship, time, and the reciprocity. And engage with smile, trust, and anchor. Few things. Now, VRs are called don't, things that you should not do. We mean voice. Don't talk too much too soon. Let the other person to talk. Let them talk. Let them talk. Let me, oh, what happened here? Oh, this goes. Let me take it through. Okay. Let the other person to talk. Now, again, this place. Let the other person to talk. We, voice. E mean evade. Evade undue pressure, threats, and ego. Has anyone ever told you, take it or leave it? Have you told that to someone? Many hundreds of people have told me that. This is my terms. Take it or leave it. Because they have the power in negotiation. When you have, are you a banker? Bankers have power these days. Are you a government employee? They have the power. Take it or leave it. I have many other customers. Have you ever said that? Or has anyone ever told you that? Avoid it. When you have power, don't overuse it or even use it. Power works well when you don't show it. Keep it aside, your power. When they see it, you don't have to use it. Have you heard this? The best general is the general who could win the war without having to fight it. The similar way. Evade using undue pressure. And the last one is R is reduce. It is this R. Don't give, reduce freebies. Freebies mean anything free. Don't give anything free. Don't panic. Don't panic. Don't give anything free. Even at home, if your daughter, if a small, your child, 3 years old or 5 years old, your daughter comes and say, Dad, shall we go to the McDonald's? Now she's negotiating with you. Oh, you can't go to the McDonald's with COVID. Shall we order from McDonald's home delivery or KFC home delivery? Now she's negotiating with you for milk. Now I say don't give free. Now you feel, Tissa, are you suggesting I have to negotiate with my daughter for that McDonald's? Yes. Don't give that free. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's have it. Let's order it from McDonald's home delivery. But sweetie, you have to finish your homework before 6:30. You see that? You say yes, lovely, adorable, but not free. You have to finish your homework before 6:30. Something for something, nothing for nothing. Whether it's a personal negotiation or professional negotiation. Remember that. Now we finished it. We finished that part. Clever tactics, control, leverage, engage, voice, evade, and reduce. Let's quickly go to next couple of minutes. I can take you to heart strategy. Now, what is the heart strategy? H-E-A-R-T, heart. Now, heart is the strategy that you could use any difficult negotiation, hard negotiation. H mean put the human before harvest. Don't focus the result. Focus on the person whom you are negotiating. Result is a byproduct through which that you achieve, but you have to focus on the negotiator. This is where many things go wrong. We go mad on the result. 15% discount, 20% reduction on the list price. We fight like mad. It becomes very easy if you work through the negotiator. Think that there's a statement saying, very famous one, negotiators are human first. Focus on the person or the team who are negotiating. Work with them, smile with them, collaborate with them, cooperate with them. Result is a byproduct. It comes easy. If you focus there hard, ignoring, discarding, giving less significance to the person or the team of negotiators, that becomes difficult. That's the first part. H-E mean in heart, explore before express. Trying to, before you say something, we want this, we want that, this is our level, we want this specification, we need this price. Try to find out, if somebody you are negotiating for the price, try to find out the reasons behind that demand. Why is, now if you have given a room for rent, and if rentee comes and asking for 50% reduction, try to find out the reason. Why? Go behind the demand and see what is the reason behind that demand. Sometimes you can find the common interest. You want him to continue the renting in that room. He wants to stay in that room in future. So what is between common interest is you both wants that partnership to continue. That's the common interest. So how do you manage that continuity? Common interest is to find out the formula which is beneficial for you and that person as well. You can only do that before expressing, explore. Try to find out the interest. The next one is A is alternative. This alternative is options. BATNA is one part. Now when I go for a sales, when I was not developed in my sales negotiation, I went with Mr. Customer. This is your proposal. What do you think about this price? Will you say yes or no? This is my proposal. Tell me yes or no. Now I go with 3 proposals. Proposal number A, B, 3. Mr. Customer, I have A, B, C. All this is yours, sir. You decide what do you want. Options. I'm giving options to the customer. This is called MESO, multiple equivalent simultaneous offers. That means if a pen is 100 rupees, if you buy 10 pens, 100 rupees. 500 pens, 90 rupees. 1000 pens, 85 rupees. Mr. Customer, you decide what you want. Now, I don't care, it doesn't matter which one he selects, I'm up on the deal. But for him, he feels he's in control. He's the decision maker. He's in charge. But of course not. I'm in charge. Because it doesn't matter for me to, whichever he selects, I am up on the deal. But for customer, your negotiating partner, he will that he is in charge. He's calling the shot. He's the decision maker. Go with options. Otherwise, what happens if I say, look here, this is 100 pence, sorry, 100 rupees, 100 pence. This is my proposal. If you go with multiple options, it works like magic. Try it. I have tried it. Very successful. So go with options. This is what I call it. Alternatives before alterations. Go with alternatives. Go with options. And the last one, one before last is R. R is relationship. Focus of relationship before the result. When you go to negotiate, you don't jump in the negotiation. You build a rapport, relationship. You ask which school he attended. Wow, this school. Which year? I am also from that. Immediately it click it. Have you ever heard people from southern Dakuni? They would wish to do business with Dakuna. And north is the same. East is the same. A relationship. The values align. Before result, focus on relationship. The last one, transcript before transmit. Write down everything, agree. You don't have to write everything, every agreement. I don't write with my agreement with my daughter for McDonald's. But in professional negotiation, write down, agree, and communicate to the other parties before you negotiate, before you conclude, because you need it for the follow-up. Do it first time and every time, no room for misunderstanding, especially professional negotiation. So we finished it hard. Let me, within a minute or two, take you through the discussions. Now, the only way, or the way that I suggest, that I know, is to face a difficult negotiation, especially COVID, post-COVID situation right now we are going through, is to master, your basic. When you know your basic, because negotiation is art and science both. I am teaching you the science part. It can be taught, it can be learned. There are best practices, frameworks, procedures. But the art part is you. You are unique. There's no one like you. One and only. So you can add your flavor. Same negotiation, 10 people negotiate it differently. So my science part, you add your art part. Then you become a unique negotiator. To do that, you need to know the basic. It's very difficult to take 35 minutes or 40 minutes to give you the basic, because I do it for 2-3 days minimum. Workshops, this take a lot of activity, a lot of case simulation, real life cases, interactive, fun, laughter. It's fun to go through the workshops. But this 35 minutes, I can just give you a bite size. You see that teasers like tip-tip. When you have a tip-tip, it just, you have this taste in the tongue, but nothing in the stomach. But you know the taste. You have feeling, you are communicating with the brain. The similar way I can give you the bite-sized pieces. I just gave bite-sized pieces within this limited time. Preparation is base. Build your, remember, build your agenda and build your objectives. Aware of the competition, aware of the culture. S is study your products and evaluate the BATNA. Remember, BATNA, best alternative. Lean mean, what is lean? Skills, listening, empathy, assertiveness, non-verbal. Very important skills. Preparation and skills before the negotiation. On the negotiation table, tactics and strategy. Tactics, clever tactics. C for control, L for leverage, E for engage, V for voice, E for evade, R for reduce. Hard strategy, H mean human before harvest. E explore before express. A is alternative before alteration. R is relationship before result. T mean transcript before transmit. if you master these basics, you can't be a master negotiator overnight. I must manage your expectation properly. This will give you a first step, improving it. Now, if you need more, I wish to take you through, let me stop sharing this. This is my LinkedIn profile. If you go type Tissa Disanayake, and you will be getting here this Tissa Disanayake, and there are a lot of articles. Now, for instance, listening, there's an article, very famous article called Shut Your Mouth and Open Your Mind. This is all about listening. And are you red-eyed negotiator? RED mean how to make the eye contact with the negotiation. Now, for instance, let me do this. Okay, here. Do you know the power of smile in negotiation? SMILE. How to smile, where to smile and where not to smile in while negotiating. And there are dozens of articles in my LinkedIn. Send me a connection and read those, and you can expand this knowledge in negotiation. All what I did is opened your mind to the reality that there's a possibility to improve negotiation skills, and you are a born negotiator. And I just wanted to help you to rediscover the negotiator. I didn't do anything. I'm just helping you to discover what is already great in you. You are a great negotiator. Just understand, believe in yourself, and start improving it. And everyone, and you will be amazed with your success. Everyone want to do business with you. You will be regarded as an industry leader in your own area. I wish you good luck. But if you have any questions, I'm open. I'm ready to answer. Ubudu, are there any questions?
Currently, no, sir.
Will you please switch on their, let me check. Switch on their, almost we are closing 100 participants. You can just ask any question. If I know, I have no answer for everything. I'm not a magician, but I can share my experiences, and what I can share also what the world-class best practices are. So we both could learn from each other. Any questions? You can type it in the chat box.
Mr. Disanayake, we can't hear you.
Okay, now it's okay. Someone has asked what is A in lean. A is assertiveness. L for listening, E for empathy, A for assertiveness, N for nonverbal.
Mr. Disanayake, I have a question.
Yeah. May I know whom I'm speaking? Will you please introduce yourself to the...
Yeah, my name is Apeksha and I'm a banker.
Right.
Now, Mr. Disanayake, yeah, I believe that in certain instances, we have to keep our mouth shut and wait for the right time to talk. Isn't it true? Because
sorry, will you please repeat? I missed you a couple of words.
We have to wait. Yeah. There are certain instances that we have to keep listening, but we should not talk. And maybe for the first time, the negotiation will not work. But we should not give up and then go for the next. I mean, we can try another time, and we have to wait for the right time, I think, because every time will not work.
Yeah, this is now, did the audience got the question right? What she's, this is the important area to, focus. Negotiation success doesn't come in the first instance. And even if you keep on listening and do all the fundamentals right, it doesn't come right way. And there's a timing for that. Yes, I fully agree, and it's a very good question to broaden the minds of the audience. There are, now for instance, let me share one example. There's one of the, in Sri Lanka, there is a organization, factory, company who export rubber tires to Europe and USA. I don't have to name the company, but everyone knows that. It's big volumes. When I was in logistics and shipping, we knew that there's a negotiation period. And generally it happens, good old days, it happens somewhere in March. From February, March, they start negotiating for the yearly contract. Now, the timing is that once they sign the contract, even if we have a better deal, it doesn't matter how good I am, what brilliance I have as a negotiator. If I try to negotiate in July, August, doesn't happen that way. Because the door is already closed. Negotiation is already sealed. That is one part, one aspect. The other aspect is certain negotiations need back and forth discussion. Do you know how many times Sri Lankan government and LTT negotiated? How long years? And couldn't reach most of the majority time couldn't reach a solid agreement. It's the same for Israel-Palestinian negotiation. It is the same for China and America negotiation. It doesn't come that way. My experience, the challenge is, she is absolutely right. If we believe that we can do it in the first trip, that is where your objectives comes. Remember, if you don't know where you want to go, any road will take you there. Know your objectives. Negotiation objectives, first trip, first interaction will be to know, understand the customer, requirement, build the rapport, know what is competition is doing, how many volumes, how many products, how many units they want, what they are already doing, whether they have expansion plan. Who is taking the decision-making unit, DMU, who is calling the shot, who is the decision maker, who is evaluating the proposals. There are dozens of information that you need to get at before even you really think about negotiating. You need back and forth couple of time, sitting down, listening. The problem is if you start talking and without listening, that is where things go wrong, because you don't understand the customer to give the best solution. If competition does it better than you do, they stand the chance. So listen. I fully appreciate the question because it gives opening to explain further deep points on the subject. Very good question. Have I answered your response?
Yes, sir. I thank you very much. And I think that it's simply, we may need to change our plan, but not the objectives.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have the objectives, because where you want to go, based on the challenges, you can change the road, but not the ultimate outcome. So it can, it will take you there. It doesn't matter. You will be very flexible if you know where you want to go, but be ready to change your plans, change your course. Anything? Okay. If customer do not agree this is Suresh Dilhani. If customer do not agree for any options given by us and escape from the situation. Oh, great. It happens every time. Know the objectives. If the customer do not agree for any options, this is where, why the question you need to ask while negotiating, why the customer doesn't agree for any option. Let me give you an example. I was sitting in front of, this is Doha, Qatar. I was sitting in front of Jerry Barbosa, who was the category manager at Qatar Duty Free sometimes back. I gave the best proposal that I ever produced. I explained to him 30+ minutes of how great my proposal was. He had the blank face. said, okay, great proposal, but I'll let you know in a month's time. Month's time? My friend, I have given you best proposal. Then I realized I was talking more and listening less. I start watching his body language. Then I realized after taking control of the situation, negotiating, asking the question, I felt that his KPIs are based on stock holding cost. My product was the new product. He doesn't know whether it will be sold or not. Whether it's a fast seller or not. So he doesn't want to order before knowing whether it will be sold. It's a good items to sell. He doesn't want to spend. I understood it. I'll tell you what I did. I said, Jerry, is your problem a question? Are you worried about your stock holding cost? Yes. Okay. If you give you a pilot product, that means some amount of products to sell as a pilot FOC, free of cost, without any invoice. Invoice will be FOC. Will it be a problem for you? Will you take it on the inventory, burden on inventory? He said, no. I said, okay, I'll send you small volume. Let's see 1 month's time whether it will be sold. 1 week after, not 1 week, even 5 days after, I asked him, I sent the product. I said, Jerry, will you please get a photograph of the product in my product in your shelves, display shelf in Qatar duty free, because I wish to send it to my head office as a proof. He said, I'm sorry, sir, I can't send you photograph. I asked, why? All those products, small package is already sold. Then I asked him, can I have my order now? He said, yes. This evening I'll send you the order. You see, how I got him into that position is try to understand his side of the story. Mostly they don't buy it, they don't give any response, they put a smoke screen, they call it a smoke screen. I have to ask my boss. Maybe something is not clear to them. Probe, ask questions, go behind the objections and try to find out real reasons. When you address those reasons, things will get clearer. And if it is not the ideal product that you are looking for, if your product is not the real suitable product for them, don't sell it. Keep your brand name, and it's not everywhere, every time you can sell it. Know your limitations. If you understand the reasons behind the objections, if you can solve that properly, then you are up for the opportunity to sell. Okay, one more question. One more question, because we have to go for another Zoom meeting. One more question. Anyone? Is there anyone? Let me see. What is the meaning of hardball strategy? In hardball strategy is you are using your position, your power, and under pressure to negotiate. It doesn't work long term, very short term, and it's short lived. I advise avoid it. Make your negotiating partner as a partner, collaborator, as facilitator, as a friend. I try to avoid. I advise you to avoid. Pubudu, I think time is up. I wish to hand over back to, there are a lot of questions I can see, but let me hand over to Pubudu to sum it up.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mr. Tissa, for your valuable knowledge which you shared with the participants. I think it's important to get the basics right when negotiating, especially at a time like this. And I think you have done it in a very precise way where the participants can really implement it in various times that they need to come across negotiations and get hold of it, because it's not easy to negotiate at a time like this where there are so many other times and locations where they need to attend to. So it's great to have all of the participants. There are over 100 participants. Some are logged in through Facebook as well. So we thank all of the participants, and please feel free to share your feedback with us. We will be having continuous webinars, and we have 3 webinars happening today itself. So if you are interested to get to know details, you can log into www.rhtraining.lk, which will give you all the details about our trainings, our webinars. We have conducted over 1,000 sessions. I mean, it's on a classroom type, not only locally, nationally. We have 85 trainers working with us. So it's a great privilege to have Mr. Tissa with us. And we thank Mr. Tissa for offering this session for the participants in improving their negotiation skills. So all the best. And if there's anything that you want to communicate, I'll drop my email address also. Just let us know if we could help you in any way. Thank you very much for joining in. Have a pleasant
If you
day.
need, Pubudu, if they need to reach me, I have also my email address below my, somewhere here in the screen, this@bostonnegotiation.com. If they want to reach me for any clarification, they can come back.
Right. So I
Okay.
will also drop Mr. Tissa's email address so that if participants are interested, they could drop us an email. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Tissa.
My pleasure.